All right, guys, we are getting ready for game number one between UCF Death Knights and a Greek economy. You don't see their names up there. I haven't added it to this overlay yet, but we're about to get ready there. And so we will be starting this map series off on Infernal Shrines. So Infernal Shrines, very popular map for very good reason. It's generally one of the more fun and one of the more balanced maps, I venture to say. And Infernal Shrines, you can do quite a bit there. You don't necessarily need the global control like maybe on a Warhead Junction, but it definitely gives you a lot of value to actually have some global presence to be able to get across the map. So you should expect things like Garrosh, Kerrigan. Not is definitely not your typical ban. Um, so it's typically not your normal ban there, but apparently that's what they're going for. Webcam fix that. There we go. Webcam should be back. All right. So Garrosh was the first ban on the side of UCF. Kerrigan, the next ban. Kerrigan is a very odd ban, as is Johanna as a first pickup on the side of a Greek economy. I'm not quite sure why it would pick Johanna as first. The Phoenix Stukov picks here make a lot of sense coming out of UCF. They're just, high value bans at this point in time, or high value picks, depending on what you're opting to do. In this case, they picked Phoenix and Stukov, very strong, and the Greek economy just knows exactly what they want here. They picked Genji and Hanzo. I'm not quite sure if I like Genji and Hanzo. In a lot of cases, they picked the Johanna there, which makes up for the deficit of Genji's lack of wave clear. Phoenix and Stukov have the ability to wave clear perfectly fine, which now means that they still need a solo laner for UCF. They still need a solo laner for a Greek economy. They also need a support. So UCF can ban out the Malfurion, for instance, or they can even ban out a Mayev. But if they ban the Malf, I don't believe they'll pick up Mayev, just because that means they'll be lacking a solo laner. It looks like they're going to ban the Medivh. Could be a pick here alongside of a normal support, but that would still give them a lot of lack of wave clear. That basically they would have Johanna in Hanzo potentially at level 4. That's really it, and I don't really consider that to be a serious wave clear team in comparison. So how does UCF respond to this? If they know they're going to have a dive, you need to pick up some more CC. I mean, they have yet to actually pick up tanks, so you can pick up someone like an ETC. You can pick up, well, Garrosh has been taken out, so pick up a Nub, for instance. He can cocoon the Genji when he comes into the back, just run past and dive into the enemy team at that point. And we're dealing with Genji and Hanzo, so that's a lot of ability damage coming out. So he could actually be a nice pick here. The Kerrigan ban could be a targeted ban. I said in my chat, that's definitely possible. The Sonya ban I like because they still needed the solo laner. The ETC is the pick here, which I mentioned, that at this point, Johanna is an easy interrupt though on Mosh. There's also Hanzo who can interrupt that, and they could go stage dive though, which gives you the ability to get some global pressure, because at this point a Greek economy doesn't actually have any global pressure available to them, and that is kind of scary if you're a Greek economy, because they don't have great wave clear. They opted for the Uther instead of the mouth, but it makes a lot of sense. Uther de-shield the Genji. Genji goes crazy in the back line, and maybe everyone just dies. So Blaze is the final pickup here on the side of a Greek economy, and it's really a good pickup. Basically, they can just jump into that bunker, especially if a potential lock on from Phoenix comes through. You just jump on in there, and basically you reset hit Phoenix's ult. Now, the Leo, normally from what I've seen, Leo wins against Blaze as long as he lands the Drain Hope. If you don't land the Drain Hope, then you're potentially going to lose that lane. So, in general, I like the picks because they can trap Blaze, Johanna, and Uther all in Entomb, which is pretty powerful in my opinion. Now, overall, I'd say that once again, that they do lack the global pressure that is available on the side of UCF, but they do have some potentially really good team fights here because Blaze, like I said, will interrupt Phoenix's ult. The Uther D-shield on a Genji to be very high value to take out the Greymane, Phoenix, or the Stukov. And finally, you have Johanna for a good wave clear, easy interrupts for a Mosh if they do potentially pick up Mosh. So for UCF, we got Jackster 37 on the Stukov. We got Codex on the Leo. We have Snipe on the Phoenix, Rook on the ETC, Ashbash on the Greymane. On the other side, for a Greek economy, we got Bishop Mist on the Blaze, Olive Farmer on that Johanna, Cookie on the Genji, Oscar on the Hanzo, and finally we got Decade on the Uther. What's interesting is they all two of them also have special characters for their names. So we're gonna have the footsie battle in mid. We're going to see a cocktail build come out. Kind of makes sense. He doesn't want to dive in too deep there, the Greymane, between the Johanna and the Blaze. So there goes a nice light coming in from Rook. There's a stun onto him. Big silence coming out from Stukov. I don't think they're going to get much more out of this at this point. Level 1 fight, have to commit pretty hard like that. And Greymane is looking worse for the wear. And say goodnight? No! Ash, oh! Cookie coming on in and slicing him and dicing him like he was a cookie cutter. So first kill going onto the side of a Greek economy. Nicely done. They really took advantage of Greymane diving in. I specifically mentioned that Greymane does not want to be diving in that hard. Cookie coming on in for the early gank and pressure against Leo, which then is at this point UCF has already an early game lead. It's not, you know, a tremendous lead, but it's a lead nonetheless. So there's the invade onto the camp. Decade's going to be going down. They trade out those Stukov. Both supports down. Uther has that extra heal. Rook is looking a little worse, though. He's going to slide on out. They do take out the Hanzo. It is still a 2v2 at the moment, but it's not going to be good enough. Greymane is going to be... Cookie tries to jump out, but doesn't make it over the wall. Genji just doesn't have, he doesn't have the ups needed. As they say, white man can't jump. Genji isn't actually white, but I don't know if it still applies to Asians in this case. So a nice invade coming out from UCF. They take the camp. They get themselves some kills. Cookie just unfortunately somehow misses the jump over the wall. I'm guessing he misclicked or it was a visual bug that didn't actually get him over. Ashbash has unfortunately dropped, and so we're going to take a quick pause here while he gets back in the game. Need to take note of the time. Okay, so they have till 10:30 to get Ashbash back into the game. So they already have themselves a level 4 advantage, which is pretty nice. We have the growing infestation. One good spread. Okay, it looks like we're ready. Looks like they weren't ready, even though it was pretty much under a minute for a Greek economy. I should have made sure they were ready as well. So going over the rest of the towns, we got the One Good Spread, we have Neil, Consume Vitality, we got the Prog Rock, Loudspeakers. Um, we have the Advanced Targeting, Emergency Protocol. And jumping back in, we have the Thick Skin coming on out. So he went for a bit of a hybrid build there. We have, like I said, Perfect Aim and Thick Skin. They do have some autos, not too much. And Hanzo didn't go Redemption, so it's not going to hurt him, but it's also not that high value, the Thick Skin here. Decade in a very bad position. Rook misses a slide, but he does zone out the rest of the team. There goes Ashbash onto the Uther. He has been silenced, and he is going on down. Very nice silence coming out from Jackster, ensuring the kill as Uther cannot heal himself or do anything. The slide, although it missed, a nice slide coming in once again from Rook. He's going to back on out. The rest of the team did not commit with him. They are up pretty heavily on this objective right now. They've almost gotten it to the point where they can no longer contest. They're already at 22. Once they hit 30, it's pretty much guaranteed. A slide coming out of nowhere there from Rook, but no big deal. They still have this pretty handedly. 35. We got Uther back in action, but they're going to just have to give this up. Blaze has been sitting here soaking in the meantime, which is the perfect thing to do, like in that sort of situation. You have to give it up and just say like, okay, we need to cut our losses. How do you cut your losses? Well, soak your lanes. You can see they keep the XP up pretty evenly. And there's the jump. They get it over the wall. And they'll march on John Cena towards the back there. But they've opened this up heavily. Nice slide coming in from Rook. There's not too much follow-up. He should have potentially saved it for this sort of situation with Johanna being rooted. There's the silence. There's John Cena coming on in. Rook looking for another slide very shortly here, I'd assume. There's the root. Johanna getting caught again. So they're just going to focus on this fort right now. Cookie coming on in deep. He does have the power slide though, since he held on to that, being able to disengage really easily there. We got Blaze coming on in. There's a stun onto Jackster. They are going to turn, but Olive Farmer is super low. Nice turn from Ashbash back onto the Johanna. 3-man slide, and there is a 2-man silence. Jackster is just tearing them up with those silences. They'll manage to get out, I think. They're still trying to fight this with Greek economy. I don't know if that's the best use of their time. They do have Hanzo back in here. But in the meantime, they have Leo that's been soaking these lanes. Like, Leo's been getting so much value out of that push. He dual soaked the lanes, and they got themselves a fort. They pick up no kills to really worry about the situation, and they're marching onto 10 right now. So we see an early pickup of the Shaman Camp. The Shaman Camp getting picked up so early, I'm not a fan of, because it will force UCF to respond to it, but that means the next objective, you don't have the pressure from the Shaman Camp. You basically have to go and deal with it. You'll have to deal with UCF's Shaman Camp when the objective spawns. They've opened up this map quite a bit, UCF. They're getting themselves the XP needed to get to 10. They're very close. There's 3-man right now. They could get a little wild here. There's a stun from Blaze, not going to really matter too much. Prog Rock is already completed 5 minutes, 6 minutes into the game, which is pretty impressive. Now 10 is going to be picked up here relatively shortly, so we should see whether or not they go for, okay, they have gone for it. I wasn't expecting it. So like some of these picks, I didn't expect. Like, we have Cursed Bullet coming on out, but it makes sense. Greymane doesn't want to fully dive in. I mean, he picked up the Quicksilver bullets. He has the Cursed Bullet there now to really tear through Johanna and Blaze's HP. We also have March of the Black King, not too common of a even though it was buffed once a time ago, and then everyone decided Entomb is still better, especially after you hit level 20 and you can essentially win a game off it. So we also have the Flailing Swipe and the Purification Salvo. So they're going to walk away. They can set up quite easily here now, UCF, and look for the level 10 versus 9 fight. They don't have an Entomb to catch someone and get themselves an easy kill, unfortunately, because they could. Rook is looking for that opportunity. He's looking for the slide. There's the Condemn down. Curse Bullet goes out and whips through the air, unfortunately. So a big wave bottom that they're going to miss, but they still have that advantage. If they can take this before they hit 10 on the side of a Greek economy, it's not going to be too big a deal that they lose it, but they're going to take quite a bit of damage in the bot lane. So there they go, trying to look for the fight. Olive Farmer's super deep. There goes the Blessed Shield. There is the damage onto Snipe, and he has been executed perfectly by UCF. A 4-man stun. There is the X strike. The Flailing Swipe has come out for the rest of the disengage. Leo is pretty low. Ash Bash is low. Jackster is low. If they have the taps available, which Ash Bash does, they'll be okay. And with one good spread, he'll be able to get them all up really quickly. So they've been topped off. A Greek economy perfectly executing who they need to take out there between the dive from Cookie, Olive Farmer's lockdown with the Blessed Shield in the follow-up. It looked pretty crisp and pretty clean there. So they still can fight this, but now it's going to be pretty critical. They do have the Mosh available. They are looking for the fight and trying to zone out right now on side of UCF. So UCF has to be very aggressive if they want to get this. There's the slide. There's the mosh pit. 1-man mosh. There's the D shield to stop him from staying in there. And they do zone him out for now, but all they need is another 2. This is a nail biter. 1 more, and they get it. So Rook is pretty deep and is a Leo. Leo will get out, it looks like. He is getting poked down. Oh, the arrow comes out. They try to get the kill on Leo. I don't know if that was really the right call to just pick off the Leo, especially since it's a Leo. We got Stukov sitting over there, dropping the silence, so they can't really walk forward at the moment. And that's all she wrote for the Punisher this time around. Really good clear out of the side of a UCF, and a nice job on the side of Greek economy, getting that snipe, ensuring that themselves the Punisher, but they don't get too much value out of it at this point. Like, they need to basically play for the late game at this point, because the Greymane, Phoenix, they're all going to be just tearing through a Punisher's health pool. And we got ourselves another siege camp pickup on the side of UCF. They are going to once again pick up this bruiser camp early. Unfortunately, UCF never picked up their bruiser camp at all before that happened. So they were in a bit of a bind because they lost that Phoenix really early into the fight prior to actually getting onto the objective. So they really didn't have the manpower to devote to the bruiser camp. But you really, really should get that bruiser camp. Like, Curse of the Storm is super critical about timings and maximizing the value you get out of what you're doing. And not getting the bruiser camp means that they probably mistimed something and not getting enough value elsewhere. For instance, they had the 10 advantage, were never able to really look for a fight and get anything out of it. And so that's a bit of a mistiming. They could have gone and prepped the bruiser camp even. So they do that. They have gotten in the bruiser camp. It's now going to put the pressure onto the top lane since, well, they've already used their shaman camp, and now they can rotate wherever they so choose. And it looks like they're going to actually all rotate up here to try and defend the shaman. Jackster taking some poke, no biggie. There we got Leo coming on out. He'll be backing on out, and they'll be defending the shaman camp as best as they can. Jackster will get them all healed up relatively shortly here. We got Olive Farmer coming in for the flank. There came the arrow, and there is the flailing swipe for the disengage. X-Strike coming on in. Jackster is really low right now. So is Leo. Leo will be the first kill for the side of a Greek economy, and there is nothing else that a Greek economy can get out of this for the moment. Greek economy getting some really good picks when they see the opportunity. So they saw that opportunity to come on in and just drop everything they have. The one downside is since they've dropped so many heroics, they need to time their heroic usage such that they're not fighting for an objective, the next objective being down here, to not, they need to time their heroics that they have it available again. Because getting a kill up here netted them a front wall. Getting kills here will net them significantly more. So we do have mid cleared out, and we got the Chinese bush meta setting up here. Olive Farmer coming on in. This is a potential big slide, but he can't slide while Johanna doesn't use her condemn. So it's a catch-22. This is where I didn't think it would make sense to pick up the Mosh, but he still went for it, especially with the combination D-Show. There comes a big old arrow. There is Cookie on the back. X-Strike coming on in. There is all the damage. Cookie will get on out there, but Leo is not looking better. The March, however, is getting him topped off. Olive Farmer is really, really deep, and it will not be a single kill on the side of a Greek economy. Right now, the deaths and kills are looking a little bit like a Greek economy as it's going down the drain, but the D shield onto Genji, they have evened up the score, picking off the Phoenix, and there they go. They still have the Leo, who will pop up relatively soon, but they are super low on the side of a Greek economy. They cannot deal with Jackster's sustained healing in combination. A beautiful 3-man root silence combo. Say goodnight, a Greek economy. I don't think the EU is going to be able to bail you out of that one, because right now Jackster is just landing some god silences. In case you don't know, he has picked up a virulent reaction, which has allowed him to root after he gets the slow from his weighted pustule. And now they have themselves a full 5-man available for this push. While on the side of Greek economy, they're down 2 members, and they're going to hit 16. So they burn through this wall, and they should go, make themselves some ham sandwiches with this Punisher, because John Cena is going to give them an alley-oop to winning this game. There goes the alley-oop. Olive Farmer is really far ahead. Decade is taking a ton of damage. There's the bunker, but Olive Farmer is going to be going down here regardless. Cookie is now in no man's land, has nowhere to go. There's the X-Strike to try and reposition, and he manages to get the E out in time. Rook looking for another kill there. They won't be able to get it, and it looks like this will be all she wrote for this push. They do get themselves a Johanna. They do get themselves a keep, and they do get themselves level 16. Rook, however, really out there sliding on in, but they still have the 5-man advantage. They have to be very careful here. If Rook can catch someone like Cookie there, if they do catch the Uther, there's the knockback. Is he going to get it? There's the D-Shield, burnt and wasted. There's the re-engage. Bishop missing that stun. Super critical to land that. They may have been able to turn it there. They do have the Johanna. She should have Blessed Shield. Cookie dismounting up. I think they're looking for this. The Blessed Shield, they just need... Jackster with that weighted pustule, keeping them from going anywhere. Blessed Shield can be used right now. There it goes. It doesn't land on anyone else. Bishop Miss getting a 3-man stun. They are still looking for a kill here. They are still chasing. They hit that 16. There comes a big dragon arrow and another big old stun. They do not get any kills. They were looking and looking, but they got nothing. However, they did get a little something. They have a big push with this creep wave on top, so they should be able to at least potentially take down this well, which will help them a little bit. They are on 16s. However, they are now down a keep, which is very, very detrimental. Let's pull up the talents as well in the meantime. So we have the super strength coming on out. So this works really well because they have so many CCs. deal with. We also have the Willing Vessel, we have the Unyielding Despair, and we have the Crushing Hope. So a lot of DPS going to be coming out from Leo there. Teams are split right now. They aren't really fully committed. There's a stun out to Phoenix. They might be able to get some more. He just warps on out. There's the bunker. Jacks are taking a lot of damage. Has to move back. Cookie's going to look for it. And there they go. They get the first kill. Ashbash looking like he's next on the menu. And Greymane, I don't know how Wolf tastes. I don't know if it tastes like dog. But Greymane, you've been served up to a Greek economy. So this is looking really good for a Greek economy right now. They just get themselves 3 kills on their side. They have mid lane prepped and ready to go, as there is no well, there's no wall, and they can just full on dive past this. And they now have the Shaman camp still top. Shaman does go down, but they're looking for the other one in the meantime. With Oscar here, they take it down extremely fast because he went with a full arrow build. So there is the first fort down for the side of a Greek economy. They need to get this shrine started pronto. I mean, they do have Blaze who had to go back, but UCF will know what's happening. They'll see Blaze on the map and they'll be like, okay, guys, we can fight this. Just get onto the objective ASAP. They have to get here within the next, second or two. I don't think they can actually fight this anymore. It's already at 28. So 28, 31, I mean, they can poke this down between the combination of Hanzo and Blaze. There's not really a lot stopping them from getting this relatively easily. Another 5 more. There's a big stone coming on out. Looks like they're looking for that fight. There's the flailing swipe. Jaxer is going to be going down here. He's managed to get out for now. There's a slide. Disengage. Nicely done by Rook. And Leo is going to have to be running for his life, as he is looking like he is next on the list to be targeted down. They push on down. They picked up the Punisher. They get the kill. And this could be the keep for a Greek economy, as they themselves have a full 5-man. And they are down a member on the side of UCF. So they need to get this over the wall as soon as they can. It jumps over onto Phoenix, not who you really wanted to jump on. Thankfully, he essentially takes no damage thanks to that shield. And Leo should be up relatively shortly here. Unfortunately, we don't have how much time is remaining on the death timers. But they won't be able to get themselves a keep, but they will be able to get themselves closer to 20. They do have to respond to this really, really quick, because there's 3 catapults on the core, and those 3 catapults will start doing some core damage. You can see shield is about to go down, and they will manage to save it 100%. Super close there on the side of a Greek economy. I'm counting the milliseconds basically before they take core damage. So the rest of the talents we have yet to see. We got Might Check coming on out, Aggressive Shredding. We had the Auxiliary Shield, the Arsenal Overcharge. Additionally, we have a Running Wild and Executioner here. So Executioner makes a lot of sense between the slows across the board. I mean, there is no slow from ETC, but they have slows from Leo, from Stukov, from Phoenix. That's a lot of Executioner damage potentially. Johanna is out in no man's land right now, but the rest of a Greek economy is coming on down, collapsing on in, and really, they can play this slow UCF. UCF just needs to let pressure build up in the bot lane and fight a 5v4, or hit their 20s before they fight the 5v4. But ultimately, that's what they should be doing, is looking to get okay. We had a drop there for a second. Make sure everything's okay. So we had a drop there for a brief second. So on the other side, we had the full E-build minus the Shuriken mastery coming on out here. You don't see that too often. We have the dodge, we have the X-Strike, we have flow, final cut, and a living weapon, which if he gets this off, he can basically reset after reset. I mean, it's 80 seconds. So you do the math. 5 times 12, get yourself 60 seconds. So he's basically doing them back to back potentially. We also have the Laws of Hope as standard, Conviction, Blessed Momentum, Blessed Shield, Holy Fury, Holy Renewal, and finally Indestructible, which they definitely need on the Johanna, as she's been pretty deep a couple of times, and they have to also deal with the cursed bullet and Leo. So Leo can chunk through that HP pool pretty quickly. On the other side, we had the adrenaline, adhesive petroleum, incinerator gauntlets, the bunker as seen, a fuel leak, thermal protection, and burn notice. Finally, we had the full Qs come out, except for a hand of protection. We got Cookie scouting it out right now. They are getting positioned to potentially gank UCF. UCF needs to be careful for this rotation as they are spotted. And Jaxter might be first to go down. Okay, he's playing it safe. Oh, beautiful scouting from Jaxter as he gets himself a 5-man right there. We also had ourselves the redemption and finally scatter, mounted archery, piercing arrows, and play of the game. So pretty standard build there. So this is going to be a make or break fight. If there's several kills, that's going to be game. If there's a single kill on the side of UCF, they can win this game because keeps already down. There's the stuns coming in back to back. There's the arrow. There's first kill. Leo is next on the menu. He is not getting anything. The bunker denies him, and he has gone down. Jaxer is next up on the list, and we're going to have some squid. Now, all that is left is Snipe. Snipe, last hope. Along with Greymane, I suppose. Last hope here. But they can now march themselves over to keep extremely easily. One thing they're doing, which I really like, is they're maximizing the value they're getting as best as possible. They're getting themselves one of the siege camps. They have Olive Farmer working on the other one. And then they can push with this Punisher. And this Punisher is also in the lane they need to defend. However, you can see the Shaman camp got a ton of value. I actually don't agree with this call, but with sending Hanzo back, largely because I feel like they need to get as much value as they can out of this. They're down to keep, and they're giving time right now to UCF to actually get all 5 members back up. You can see they've actually fully abandoned pushing with the Punisher. So what this says to me is that a Greek economy has decided the only way for them to win the game is to get more than 3 kills or to get an even later game Punisher. It's not a call that I really agree with at all. You can see that they barely get the front wall because they have nothing there, no one there to really help with it. And even these siege camps ultimately accomplish relatively little. I mean, the next objective is going to probably determine the game because at that point it will walk onto a keep in the bot lane, or sorry, mid lane, and in the bot lane, well, that's almost down at this point. So if a Greek economy can execute their team fight again, then UCF is kaput because this is going to be like a 26-minute Punisher, not exactly what you want to see if you're on the side of UCF is a 26-minute Punisher. But nonetheless, you can get, like I said, UCF just needs to win the Punisher and they win the game because they have great pushing potential. On the side of Greek economy, they're essentially a team fight potential is what's been winning, but they don't have as much actually sieging potential. So like I said, next one is the Arcane. Arcane is considered the best just because of how much DPS it puts out and how much extra pushing potential it has. So UCF hasn't gotten in the Mosh. The problem is the Mosh isn't very scary for a Greek economy, specifically because of the fact that there's Divine Shield, there's Blessed Shield, there's the Bunker, there's Hanzo's Arrow. I mean, there's very little to scare a Greek economy when it comes to the ETC. There is the Blessed Chill going out. They whiff it on Snipe. If they did land that, that probably would have been the kill that would have ensured them the game because they have this ready to go. Hanzo could defend bot lane and play of the game into a fight. Oh, we got the bush set up. Decade does not get caught, and there is absolutely nothing happening. They go for it, they miss it, and they have to back out from it. But top is getting pushed in, and now is the collapse. Olive Farmer dismounting them right now. There's a slide. There's a stun from Blaze, and they are chunking down both tanks. There is Rook. Leo is next up. There is the arrow. Snipe is going to be going down. No, he manages the warp. Cookie going on in. He X strikes again. He is, however, not going to be. Oh, he does make it out. The D shield coming on out. The bunker being used. And that is it, boys and girls. That's all she wrote. As 4 members are down right now, I do not see how UCF is going to manage how they actually survive here. Ash is going to be the final surviving member of UCF, and UCF will indeed be losing. They were looking solid in the beginning, got themselves a big early game, but once tens rolled around, it was a completely different story. I mean, a Greek economy just completely recovered, and they're now a first world economy once again. So congratulations to a Greek economy, as they were given the opportunity once they hit 10 recover, and well, they took it and ran with it. So some quick numbers. Hanzo, 102k, 85k, 68k. This is not even close. But on the other side, Uther only healed 72k. But it's insane how much extra damage Hanzo got out there. Just mind-boggling. Twice the DPS. So we're going to be right back getting our next match set up. So hold on tight.